They running their mouth, then they looking for trouble. Ran right up in the knowledge, now they back in the huddle. See, they know we can fight, new content every week. Me and Dr. Clyde, keep on bringing the heat. Now they know that we driven, and they know we quitting. Yoshi and the winners, keep on bringing the energy. Unity. See, they know we ain't stopping, and they know they got problems, and they ran out of options. If they know got a problem, can't let it go unsolved. Bring back learning, Afrocentric history, we see tomorrow. Karma's karma, I say what I say, I hear underwater. Till I see I fall off, then I bring y'all up on note. I'm back up on my Clyde winners, 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 divine winters, Clyde winters, mind bender, Clyde winters, I'm Richard, ride with ya, master teacher, create masters, Clyde winters, give respect to the elder, Clyde winters, I feeling somebody out there living for me. I told you somebody out there looking for me. I think there's somebody out there looking for me. I think there's somebody out there looking for me.
We have to live by God. We have to live by God. I have not done wrong. I have not robbed. I have not stolen. I have not lynched. I have not told lies. I have not stolen food. I was not stolen. I have not fornicated with the fornicator. I have not caused anyone to weep. I have not dissembled. I have not transgressed. I have not discussed secrets. I have brought no lawsuits. I am not wrong. I am not struck kill. I am not transgressed the law. I have not been hunted. Except when I'm talking about on the song. I have not made extolling. I have not bragged. I have not cursed. I have not been violent. I have not confounded truth. I have not been impatient. I have not cursed
Dr. Winter's legacy is a testament to the power of knowledge and the unyielding spirit of exploration. His impact is felt worldwide, as he shares and enlightens at conferences, symposiums, and collaborative projects. His voice is a beacon in the academic world, challenging, inspiring, and always educating. His journey reminds us that the quest for knowledge is never-ending, and its impact is timeless. Dr. Winters teaches us to challenge the narratives and to learn with an open mind. As he always says, B1 is not a group, it's a lineage. Let his story inspire everybody to pursue knowledge relentlessly and to always seek the truth. Now let us welcome in the grandfather of research, the Trill OG himself, the Honorable Dr. Clyde Winter.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? How's everybody doing, family? Today is that day. Yes, it's that day. It's that day. It's Thursday. How you doing, Brave Coldwater? It is Thursday, and Thursday is Black History Gems. Yes. These are Black History Gems. These are gems, in a sense, in terms of Black history. They're here to give you a real understanding of history, you know. And it's very important. I was just talking with Sister Shanice a little while ago, and we were talking about the fact, you know, we've done a course on Blacks in British history, and it's been so exciting and so stimulating. And one of the reasons that it's been such a stimulating program is that it's just so much coming out about the Black royals, so much coming out about the various Black kings that ruled in Ireland and Black people in Europe, period. And this is something that is so dynamic. And what makes it so dynamic is that people is learning new and more evidence about this aspect of the history of Black people every day. And the more that they're learning about this history, the more that we're beginning to see. What we begin to see is that there was an extensive Black empire in Europe. But, a lot of people keep sending me emails asking me, when did Black people in Europe turn white? We're working on that so we can give you, but it seems like sometime between the 17 and 1800s, we began to see many Black people began due to our, incessant wars among the Black royals, that many Europeans, in a sense, began to adopt. Many Europeans began to adopt, in a sense, Black lands, and Sister Shanice, how you doing, Sister Shanice? I think Sister Shanice, she has a very beautiful theory. As I've told you years before, that Shanice is my oracle, and she does give me all these great ideas. But I think she's got a lot to really make us think about this whole idea. Is that for those people who keep asking me, when did Europeans come in? Maybe, she's suggesting, this is Sister Shanice's theory, and I agree, is that maybe many of the Caucasians may have began to come into Europe when we see the spread of the Black Death. Because remember, the Black Plague was basically, they say it was carried by rats, but I think hey, I grew up in a lot of tenements in Chicago, and I saw many a rat. One rat even pulled my sister's favorite dress into its hole. So I know about rats. So I don't know if it was rats. It may have been Europeans, in a sense, who really brought the Black Plague into Europe, and as Caucasians began to, because I think it was another brother. I think he pointed out some evidence that the Black Plague is supposed to spread from the Caucasus Mountains over into Europe. So I think maybe as more and more Caucasians began to migrate out of the Caucasus Mountains into Europe proper, they may have, in a sense, spread the Black Plague, spread a lot of these terrible diseases, and it may have come from them. But again, this is something I think that needs further research. How you doing, Natty? And I think that it's very important, in a sense, that we begin to do this. But what I really like is that every day I see on the internet, more and more people that are beginning, in a sense, to find out more about Blacks in Europe. And this is a topic that I think needs further research. What I love about Shanice is that on her channel, she does a lot of good programs. Also, Shanice is doing a course this weekend. And this course that she's doing this weekend, is Black History Month over in England. And she's doing a course on Black history. I think, I hope some of you guys will try to look it up and try to check it out and join her class, because it's going to be a very good class and stuff. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to go and view the class. And I think that you may find it to be worthwhile. So maybe check out the class. Go to the British Black History page for people in Britain. Look under Sister Shanice, and you can maybe find out more about the class that she's teaching this weekend, the 26th and the 27th. So try to check that out, because I know it's going to be exciting, because Shanice is always doing that superb research. The thing I like about Sister Shanice's research is, as I told her just a little while ago, is that I'm a generalist. I like to look at a general overview of their historical experiences. But what Shanice is that she looks at the history with a fine tooth comb, and what she does is that she finds out intimate information about those people who were the producers of that history. And so then she has a channel to her. She comes on at 2 p.m. Central Time every Wednesday. So check out her channel. She's always having important and up-to-date topics. She's always having a lot of people on her show and a lot of guests who are very informative and stuff like that. But again, tonight we're going to talk about the Olmec people. I've always been interested in the Olmec people since way back in the early days, because I was fascinated with those big heads. You know, because my nickname in college was my nickname in high school was Squarehead and stuff. The kids used to always call me Squarehead because they said I had a big head. And so you know how kids are. You know, that's one thing that people can't take when they come to the United States, is being roasted. We love to roast each other. Oh yes. We love to roast each other. If people can roast you and make you cry, you're out of it. You know, I mean, you know, that's how I learned a lot of poetry. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Your mama, she foolish. You know, or, you know, talk about people mamas. Yes. I learned how to talk about people mamas in school. Yes, in 8th grade, because the thing is that's what people talk about your mama, and you couldn't cry and you couldn't, so you had to learn how to talk about their mamas. But again, today we're talking about the Epi Olmecs. The Epi Olmecs, they talk about the Epi Olmec period as a period, you know, shortly after the decline of the Olmec period proper. And it's kind of, in a sense, you know, it would be during the period that they begin to find a lot of these Mayan pyramids. And a lot of these Mayan pyramids, they go back to maybe 200, between 500 and BC to about 1000. A lot of those would be pyramids that would have been built during the Epi Olmec period in Mexico, Guatemala, and places like that. So that's what we're going to talk about. So let's get it started, and you know, we'll kind of see what it is. The Epi Olmec period, inscriptions of the Black Olmec. In this particular introductory page, we see an Epi Olmec inscription over there on the left-hand side. That's of one of the Epi Olmec kings. And on the right-hand side, I have some you know, just some illustrations of how these people may have been, how some of these black engineers, these black epigraphers, these black knowledge people would have been producing some of this fine art from the Olmec period. Okay, you can go to Patreon. After I do this presentation, I'm going to put my the slides in my Patreon. If you become a member of my Patreon, I thank you very much, because it's my Patreon that allows me to do this research. It's my Patreon that allows me, in a sense, to have the funds to buy the latest books and get the latest articles. Many articles online are behind a paywall. For example, the articles for this particular presentation, they came from Science Magazine. Those articles for Science Magazine are behind a paywall, so I had to pay a certain amount of monies to be able to access those articles, to be able to get some of the research and to really find out what these people were talking about. And this was made possible because of the fact that those people who are members of my Patreon, they support me with only $5 a month. Only $5 a month, you see. And this in a sense, you can give more, but those monies help me to be able to get these articles that are behind paywall. So join my Patreon. You can find me at Twitter, Dr. Clyde Winters 8. You can follow me on TikTok at Clyde Winters 3. And there's a lot of videos of my research on TikTok. Some of them were made by Yoshimod the Genius, and I want to thank Yoshimod for putting my work out there, and other people who put some of my research on TikTok. I want to thank all of you guys. I'm not too familiar with how TikTok operates, so I'm not out there. But there are hundreds of some of the posts of my research. It's into the 20, 30,000. So go check it out. You can go to TikTok.com at Clyde Winters 3 to view my shorts. You're on my YouTube channel. Here I have over 400 videos, and these videos that I have are very important videos, and they deal with every aspect of Black history. And it's over 400 videos. And these videos you can come and watch at any time. So don't just come every Thursday and watch my live presentations. Stay on this website and look at my other videos that can tell you all aspects, the intricacies of many aspects of Black history. Check it out. You can order my books at Amazon.com. FBA is not a group. FBA is not an organization. FBA is a lineage. A lineage is lineal descent from an ancestor, ancestry or pedigree. As a result, we are descendants of the African, yes, Black European and Aboriginal Blacks who built the United States. Yes, FBA are the result of an ethnogenesis. And it was through this ethnogenesis that we became the people we are today. Yes. We're talking about the Olmec people. This is a very important thing. And what makes it important is because of the fact that the Olmec, they've left us such a wonderful civilization. I've written a number of books on the Olmecs, and I hope that you'll purchase and check out some of my books on the Olmecs. And these books on the Olmecs, in a sense, include, books that deal with the Olmec language and things like that. And Pathfinder is my memoir. And Pathfinder, Clyde Winters in Search of Roots of Afrocentrism, my memoir, I explain how I became an Afrocentric researcher. I tell you how I became an Afro researcher and give you details on how you too can become an Afrocentric researcher. You know, it's sad, but there's no universities that teach a course in Afrocentric history. There's no universities that really, in a sense, deal with researching and studying our history. Yes, I've heard that at some of the HBCUs, they don't even have African or Afro-American history courses, and that's pathetic if that's true. But then in the sense is that, but what you can do is that if you want to know how to be a researcher and how to learn more about what we're doing, get my book, Pathfinder, Clyde Winters in Search of the Roots of Afrocentrism, a memoir. I tell you how I became an Afrocentric researcher. We're talking about an aspect of Black history in the Americas. If you want to find out more about the history of Blacks in the Americas, get my books, Atlantis in Mexico. In Atlantis in Mexico, that book is about the Olmec civilization. It's about where the Olmec came from. It's about their culture. It's about their calendar. It's about their writing. This book is the most up-to-date book that you will find on the Olmecs, and that is Atlantis in Mexico. My book, African Empires in Ancient America, in this book, I discuss the various African empires that existed in the Americas, like the Moshe, which was a civilization down in South America. You can get my book, The Phylogeography of Afro-American and Africans. In my phylogeography of Afro-Americans and Africans, I talk about our genetic history. I talk about the genetics. I talk about why we carry certain genetics. For example, a lot of times the Europeans, they like to get on and they say, Black people carry 30% of the Black genes are European. No. 22% of the 22 to 30% of the genes in the average FBA is R1. Many Europeans carry R1, but many Black people carry R1 too. In fact, most of the earliest people in the Americas carried R1. You know, Anzic boy, he carried R1, half the R1 Y chromosome. Yes. So when you get my book, The Phylogeography of Afro-Americans and Africans, this book will tell you our genetic heritage, so you can understand really a little bit more about genetics, and you can understand in a sense how genetics can help you to understand our history. Then my book, The World History of the Black Race, that's a very general book, and it discusses all the various Black empires that existed in ancient America. But if you really want to get a detailed understanding of the Olmecs and understand how the Olmecs were Neo-Atlanteans, yes. Neo means new. They were the new Atlanteans because they came from Atlantis. If you want to find out more about these, Get my book Atlantis in Mexico, where I discuss the Olmecs, and get my book Olmec Language and Literature, where I discuss many of the various Olmec inscriptions, inscribed Olmec masks, and other Olmec artifacts that show these inscriptions that tell us and provide us with an intimate study, an intimate understanding of the Olmec and the people. The Olmec are a great people. They've left us so many beautiful monuments. This is just an example of some of the beautiful stela that the Olmec have left us. Yes, these beautiful stelas. And these stelas, they not only provide us with import into, in a sense, the Olmec cosmology, the Olmec worldview, it also, in a sense, tells us much about the Olmec and their religion, their society, and most of all, their culture. Check out these monuments and get those books so you can understand the Olmecs. Calendrics is the reckoning and recording of time over long periods. The creation and maintenance of a calendar would be considered calendrics. What we're going to talk about in this particular presentation is Olmec's calendrics. The mathematical system used by the Mesoamericans was invented by the Olmec. This system comprised dots and bars to denote different numerical figures. Most researchers believe the Olmec calendar was invented during the Middle Formative period at the Olmec center of Levinta around 800 to 400 BC. The earliest Olmec dated monument goes back to 31 BC. Much of what they call the Olmec calendrics go to what's called the long count. This low relief on this stone has a 4-digit numerical recording that reads 15. We only see the 2 bars, but it's really 3. 15, 6, you see that dot in a bar. 16, you see a dot, and then you see 3 bars. And each one of those bars equal 5, so that's 16. And then you see, in a sense, another dot, 3 dots, and then 3 more bars. So which would equal, in a sense, 18. And the vigesimal or base 20 counting system has been used across Mesoamerica. A value of 5 is represented by a bar, and a value of 1 is represented by a dot, such that the 3 bars and single dot here stands for 16. The date in this relief is the oldest recording date in Mesoamerica, and this date corresponds 15/6/1618 corresponds to a day in the year 31 BC. Yes, 31 BC. This is an Epi Olmec inscription of one of the Olmec kings during the Epi Olmec period. This king was called Yope. On this monument, we can read Potu, Pepe Ngibe, Yope, Papapo Gibe, Papa, Yope, Pepope, Dayoda, Lumatu, Kyo, Yope. And what that means is this. Here you can see this is you can see Yope, he's on this particular monument. And what this means is the pure king, he has prodigious purity and virtue. The pure Yo, very much purity and virtue is due, Yope. Very much admiration for Dayo at this moment, the king. Hold upright spiritual tranquility for the ruler and cult leader, Yope. Yes. We can read these inscriptions. They tell you that you can't read these inscriptions, but we are able to read these inscriptions because I discovered back in the day a bilingual Olmec Mayan inscription. And this Olmec Mayan inscription allows you to be able, in a sense, to read the Olmec writing. Nyama is the cult power, spiritual energy of supernatural origin. Nyama is considered the source of power behind every task among the Olmec people. Among the Mande, the pinnacle of potency is the knowledge of sorcery. Sorcery is important among the Mande, says Magnaton, because for the vast majority of Mande society, sorcery provide a means for analyzing situations and a tool for responding to them. And these people can be quite open about their use of it. It's very important to understand is that many people have attempted to claim that the Olmec civilization is an extension of Egyptian civilization, but it's not. The ancient Olmec were Mandingo or Mandi-speaking people, and these Mandingo or Mandi-speaking people came from West Central Africa, and that it was these people, in a sense, that began the Olmec civilization along the Gulf of Mexico. It is very important to understand that when these Mandingo Olmec people came to Mexico, there was already thousands, millions of black people already living in Mexico. And we know this from the various artifacts from various cultures, in Chiapas and other places. So we know there was already black people in Mexico when the Olmecs arrived between 1,100 or 1,200 BC. They believe they arrived. Pierre McNaughton and the Mandi Blacksmiths, Knowledge, Power, and Art in West Africa. And this book gives us a keen insight into Mandi traditional beliefs and helps explain much of Olmec's social concepts and religion. Here's an line, in a sense, in this particular inscription from Mojarra. And instead of translating the middle sign as Ipokise, it should be read Ipokilisi. I failed to include this transliteration of the sign in an earlier presentation on this particular inscription. Since Li is in the middle of the figure, I'm reading the say sign as C instead of say. Thus we have Kalisi, regarding the sign as follows. Ipokalise, we have thou pure secret speech. In other words, in a sense, the king depicted on this particular stela from Mojarra, in a sense, represents a person who was acknowledged in this inscription as having superior spiritual abilities. He was, in a sense, a Kalisi. A Kalisi means he had, in a sense, the power of secret speech. Kalisi is a potent formula of human sounds, rich and supernatural energy. It is Kalisi that provides an object with Nyama, or the secret magical power. For example, in row 2 of this inscription, we read Nipo, Gyo, Bok tu, Yopobo, Bota, Monkey tu, Yo, Papo, Da, Selula, Tululu, Po, Yope. And this means the pure house, the big hemisphere sepulcher, burial pyramid is a talisman. Pure King Yo is pure moral grandeur and a pure propriety. The monkey king, Yo, has much purity. The devotee is pure, to realize and hold upright a good situation. The king and governor is obedient to the law. O Yope. The monkey figure probably has an important meaning in the inscription and may represent an emblem. Among the Mandi, Sulao, monkey, indicates the initiate's awareness of his own animality. This suggests that Sulalu in row 2 should read a king aware of his animality. Again, here's this inscription. It appears that the first day relates to the birth of Yope, who is recognized as Segyo. This inscription makes it clear that Yope was recognized as a god and the leader of his people's religion. To understand the designation of Yope as Seyo, is explained by Mandi traditional culture. As I said earlier, I made a mistake and originally translated Pegyo as Segyo. Reading the sign as Pegyo tells us that Yope was considered a powerful religious specialist, in addition to being a great Mayan king. I do not believe the Lopi sign was an initial series character. It was just a description of the potent supernatural power of Yope that Yope possessed. This is the sign I'm talking about, this Lupi sign. You see, that's the sign that I'm talking about, the Lupi sign. I do not believe the Lupi sign was an initial series character. It was just a description of the potent supernatural power of Yope, the powers that he possessed. As Segyo, Yope appears to have had great knowledge of sorcery or Nyama. Say, which can mean foot or foundation, represents the beginning of knowledge. The say symbolizes the beginning and advance of success and power. The say represents man's progression in pursuit of knowledge. Since say means foundation and gyo is spiritual knowledge, say gyo would equal foundation of spiritual knowledge. So Yope, the king represented on this particular stela, he was representing what? Pure supernatural power, immense supernatural power. The left column shows the snake in the possible long count sign of 851697 or 156 AD. June 23rd, 156 AD, by one calculation. This suggests that Yope was recognized as Satigi, master of the snake on this date. You know, the snake, as you know, the snake appears frequently in much of the mythology, much of the cultures of many black people. For example, you know, in our Bible, we have the representation of the snake who supposedly gave Adam and Eve the apple or the fruit that led to their downfall. So we see a snake plays an important role in many ancient cultures, and that's why, if you notice, look at that figure on the left hand side. You can see that coiled snake right at the top, right before that date. You see the coil snake. You see the two bars. Then you see the three dots in the one bar, which is 8. So we have, in a sense, we leave with the so we have 8, the three dots in the bar. Then we have the bar, which is 5. Then we have the one dot, and then we have the 3 bars, which would be 16. You know, and then we get 9, and then we get 7. And so if you look at that again, look over there on the far left hand side, we see 8. 3 the bar 5. So then we can see 8, 5, 16, 9, 7. And this date would come in our Gregorian calendar to the date of the 23rd of June, 156 AD. Yopo was a Satigi, master of the snakes. In relation to the supernatural, the serpent or snake in the inscription, it does not relate to a date. The Sa or snake's body forms the Sa sign. The snake rests on the Gyo sign. Thusly, the association of the snake with Gyo would be So Gyo. This indicates that we have, say, Gyo, foundation of spiritual knowledge. As a result, I believe that Yope was a Satigi, master of snakes. Among the Mandi, the snake is used in divination. The snake diviner studies the reptile's movements, which he magically interprets to answer client's question. The Satigi communicated with snakes for numerous purposes, e.g. to foresee the future events and obtain secret knowledge, because he shares a supernatural bond with the serpent. The Satigi is recognized as one of the most powerful diviners of the Mandi people, who has the ability to perform supernatural acts. Yes. So if Yepo was a Satigi, this shows that he was not just an important king among these Olmec people. He was a master of the snakes. He was a master of these supernatural powers. This meant that this black Olmec king, was very, very, very powerful and had much mastery over the supernatural arts. This is another column that was discovered on this Mojarra side inscription. You know, I already showed you the front. This is the front. This is the front of the Mojarra tablet. But we also find that there's inscriptions on the side of the tablet. And these are the inscriptions on the side of the tablet. You see, what I've done is that on the right side, on the left hand side, you can see the actual the actual tablet, and you can see it's kind of been disfigured. But then on the left side, I show, in a sense, what these signs probably represented at the time they were written. This newly discovered column of the text was published in July 1997. The new side text column on the Mojarra Stela provides interesting information about the Olmec people. This column of Epi Olmec text was published by J. Justinson and Terence Kaufman in an article called A Newly Discovered Column in the Hieroglyphic Text on the Mojarra Stela, a test of the Epi Olmec decipherment. It was in the Science Magazine, number 277, 11 July 1997, pages 2007 to 2010, if you'd like to see the original article. Again, as I said earlier, it's behind a paywall, though. In this article, Justinson and Kaufman claimed that decipherment of this text proves their decipherment of Epi Olmec using the Mishizolkin, language. This claim is false. This text was written in the Olmec language, which is a variety of the Mandi group of languages. Yes. It's not written in Mishizolkin, you see. They claim that the text reads as follows. They believe that this whole, you see all these various symbols. You see, it's over 15 symbols. But they say this reads, behold, there he was for 12 years. And then a garment got folded. He uttered, the stones that he set in order were thus symbols, kingly ones. What I chopped has been planted and harvested well. Shapeshifters appeared divinely in his body. This is what they claim this inscription reads. You see, but that's not really what it reads. These new inscriptions come from a badly weathered and eroded hieroglyphic column. They were found in November 1995 on the site of Stela 1 from the Mojarra, a riverine site in southern Veracruz. The personage recorded in this Mojarra and Tuxtla statuette are not the same. The Tuxtla statuette, the governor's named Tutu, you see. The text on the Mojarra Stela is about a King Yope, and that's how Yope, I guess, may have looked. You see. Now I'm going to translate the Mojarra side inscription and read it as it should be read, not in Mishezakin, but in a Mandi language. Poito, thou art a righteous king. Iposu basu, thou art pure. Offer libations to this unique pa. Segyo, of the Segyo. Potupo, datupo, the pure grand refuge is smooth. I don't know what the fifth symbol is. Pokutu, pure cleansing, this refuge. Pogyebe, tutu, the sanctified king and his refuge. Ponitufa, the pure principle of life is in possession of this abode. Basu, the ba is vigorous. Pekyu, the prodigious tomb. Number 10, I can't make that out. Number 11, Yope, King Yope. Number 12, Poitu, pure is thine refuge. Seni, Yote to ndi. Yope's principle of life to realize no vice in this good abode on terrain near the water. Pekyu, the prodigious tomb. Nitula, the soul of the king sleeps. Or Nigula, the soul in spiritual tranquility is established. Line 16, Yobe, the vital spirit has been put to bed. Line 17, Po, impurity. Line 18, Yongabebi, the soul is pure, righteousness of the great ancestor. Yope, 19, 28, Sopu, 20, line 20 is Posu, the pure libation. Line 21, Luke you. Hold upright this hemispheric tomb. Hold upright this hemispheric tomb. Betag you. It exists in a unique state of spiritual tranquility. Line 23, Poitu, pure is thine refuge. 24, Yope. 25, Potu, the righteous king. 26, Poikutu, thou, the head of government is pure. Yes, Yope was recognized as the pure head of government. 27. Taki kugyota kye ba geba da. Taki, the sacred rising of a star, Yope. Kugyu is the summit of righteousness. Takieba, this man is great. Gababda, he glows at this moment. Yope is a rising star. He is the summit of righteousness. This man Yope is great. He glows like a shining star at this moment. Yes, yes, yes. Da, at this moment. Poyota Vata, the pure image of the race and mystic order, is full of propriety. Yope Poyota Vata Yope, the pure image of the race and mystic order, full of propriety, is Yope. In summary, Justison and Kaufman's translation of Mojarra Stela text using Mishizakin fails to convey the richness of Olmec prose and the deep love and respect that Olmec gave their kings. Whereas these two scholars translate the new inscription as follows: Behold, there he was for 12 years, a title, and then a garment got folded. He uttered, the stones that he set in order were thus symbols, kingly ones. What I chopped has been planted and harvested well. A shapeshifter appeared divinely in his body. This is what they claim it read, but I already told you what it really reads. This decipherment by Justison and Kaufman does not prove that the Mojarra Stela is written in Zolkwian. The authors translating this inscription admit they still cannot read the entire document using pre-Proto-Zolkwian to interpret the alleged Epi Olmec logograms. That's because you can't read an ancient language based upon, in a sense, a proto language, because a proto language is just a synthetic language that archaeologists and that linguists use to show that there's a relationship maybe between various groups. But a proto language is just what we as linguists might just assume was spoken, but there's no proof that a proto language is ever spoken by anybody. This translation contrasts sharply with my decipherment of the new Mojarra text. Justison and Kaufman believe that this long inscription is about folded garments and a dignitary chopping crops while a shapeshifter appears in his body. My decipherment, on the other hand, based on the authentic language of the Olmec, which in a sense is Mandi, indicates that the Mojarra Stela was a funerary text, acknowledging the potent mystical power of the Olmec king Yope. Yes, yes. That is what this inscription is about. This inscription is about this King Yope that we see on the left-hand side. It is talking about how he lived as a great user of the mystical arts, how he had secret supernatural power, and how he was a great king and a great leader. It is safe to say that Yope had immense supernatural power, thus his nickname Segyo. He was also a Satigi, and thus could see into the future and obtain supernatural knowledge via his snake totem. As a result of this, I do not believe that Segyo, snake, is the day sign. These signs probably related to the immense supernatural power of Yope himself. There were many Olmec kings, and what I've been able to do is that I started noticing that there were certain symbols on each of the Olmec heads. And what I've been able to do is that by looking at their headgear, I was able to decipher the names of the Olmec kings. Yes, yes. Now I know all the names, and you too. You can know all the names of the various stone heads of the various kings, like Kieta Poda, Givaz Solo Saba, Bipopo, Potu, Tatatu, Potata, Pobe, Pobafe, you see, and some of these others in a sense. But again, in a sense, is that so yes, because of my decipherment of the Olmec language, now we know who these various ancient Olmec kings were. Wonderful knowledge. The Olmecs, in a sense, they built us very beautiful monuments. Many of the original pyramids built by the Olmec people of Mexico they usually had these serpentine type figurines. And if you notice, you'll find under many of the Mongoloid pyramids, such as some at Ushaghatun in Guatemala, Tikal in Guatemala, Cerros in Belize, you'll find it under many of these tombs you see an Olmec pyramid. Yes, yes, yes. So what we see now is that we know now that the red Mayan, they built pyramids over pyramids that had been originally built by the Olmec kings, who were the original founders of civilization in Mexico. Here you can see some of the evidence of these Olmec pyramids under later pyramids. Take a minute and check that out. The reliefs. Here's some reliefs that are that they found recently. These are recently discovered Olmec artifacts. The reliefs are carved from large round slabs of limestone, 4.6 feet in diameter and weigh more than 1,500 pounds apiece. Think of that. Wow, these are very heavy. In the center of the headdress is an Olmec cross, a glyph of a jaguar that was a marker of elite status. The faces take up almost all the real estate, bordered by footprints on the side and arms crossed underneath. So if you can look at that, you can look at that. Look at them. You can see the arms are crossed underneath, and you can see that Olmec. You know, I bet there's some other inscriptions on it, but I can't. I haven't never seen the original. You know, I might could tell you even more about who these people were. But I think it's interesting. Look at those hands. Look at how the arms are crossed for both of them. They're crossed in different ways. They're not the same. So that is probably a significance. Look at the one to the far right, far left. See how you see longer. You see the hands extended longer, arms extended longer, whereas the one in the middle, it doesn't have the hands extended so long. You just mainly see the hand and the wrist. But again, as I said, is that there may be even more information on this, and I would have to see them up close. But hey, I don't have that ability to do that. A lot of times, to see these artifacts, you had to belong to some university and generally be white, or be in those countries and be an Uncle Tom. Because most of the people who live down in Belize and Guatemala, they can have black people in many important positions, but they don't believe that these are black people. They don't believe that black people were there originally. They allow white people to tell them what to do. So a lot of times they allow white people to write the history, and a lot of times that history is not true. If you want to find out more about the Olmecs, about their culture, and the fact that they were Neo-Atlanteans or New Atlanteans, again, buy my books, Atlantis in Mexico, where I outline the various empires in ancient Mexico, and get my book Olmec Language and Literature. The hardcover editions of these books have some very beautiful covers, and if you can notice, I have the original cover for these books at the top, and then under each one of these books, I have the hardcover edition. So you can buy the hardcover edition. And the hardcover edition, they have these different inscriptions, these different cover pages. Again, Atlantis in Mexico and Olmec Language and Literature. These are the books that can help you to learn more and more about the Olmecs. The Olmecs were a great people. They had a very super civilization. And these black people were the first civilization in Mexico, and they're called the mother culture. In conclusion, the evidence presented by Mesoamerican archaeologists like Poole, Deal, and Co. make it clear that the Olmec introduced a unique culture to Mexico that was adopted by the Mesoamericans. As these statements make it clear, there was no continuity between pre-Olmec cultures and the Olmec culture. The Olmec was an original culture. This Olmec culture was introduced by Mandi-speaking people. The Olmec culture has nothing to do with ancient Egypt, nothing at all to do with ancient Egypt. The Olmec The Olmec culture is a result of the Mandi people who formed it. That's why if you go to West Africa, you can see that the Mandi people formerly did a lot of work in jade. You can see on artifacts from West Africa and Saharan Africa. You can see the boats that they used. You can see where they originally made kind of a semi-large head. And definitely, in a sense, you can see all of these inscriptions in West Africa. This writing that shows that the writing came from, in a sense, West Africa. In conclusion, the evidence presented by Mesoamerican archaeologists like Poole, Dial, and Cole make it clear that the Olmec introduced a unique culture to Mesoamerica. The Olmec have left us fine stelas, statues, and inscribed artifacts to indicate their African origin. We can prove the Olmecs were West Africans by 1, the Olmec writing system; 2, the religion of the Olmec is the Mandi religion; 3, the use of jade to make tools in Africa and Mexico; the West African skeletons that they found among the Olmecs; the Malinke Bambara substratum in the Mayan, Otomi, and Mishi language; the bilingual Olmec Mayan text that I've discussed in earlier presentations. The Mayans introduced tradition of foreign people landing at Penatha, and 8, the Olmec calendar, all point back to what? The ancient Mandi people. Yes. The Olmec were an African people. Again, join my Patreon to see the slides. You can go to Twitter at Dr. Clyde Winters 8, and you can see some of my posts that I posted on Trigger on Twitter. You can also, in a sense, not Twitter, well, it's X now, but I still call it Twitter, but it's really X. You can find, in a sense, Clyde Winters on YouTube. This is my YouTube channel. This is where you can find even more information, more videos on the various Black civilizations. Also, you can order my books on Amazon.com. Don't just buy one book. Don't just buy 2. Buy all 40, 50 of them. Buy all my books, please. Support me. Use my books to learn more about our history and our culture. Again, if you want to know more about the history of Blacks in America, get my book, Atlantis in Mexico, where I talk about the Olmec people. Get my book, African Empires in Ancient America. And African Empires in Ancient America, I discuss all, not just one, not just 2, but all of the various empires that existed in pre-colonial America, not only in Mexico, but also in South America. If you want to find out about the phylogeography or the genetics of African and African people, get my book, The Phylogeography, Afro-Americans and Africans. And of course, get my book, Clyde Winters, The World History of the Black Race. In the world history of the Black race, you will learn about many of the various Black civilizations that existed. It's a survey. So it gives you a little bit of information about all of these ancient Black civilizations. Check them out. And again, in a sense, don't be afraid to visit Amazon.com. If you go to Clyde Winters, Amazon.com, or you go look up Clyde Winters books, you can see many of my books. The history of Blacks in Mexico, the history of Blacks in Europe, Black History, History Gems Essays, Volumes 1 and Volume 2. Get those books, get all of my books. I have so many books. Just go to Amazon.com, get my books, learn the true history of Black people around the world, and not this fake history they present to us in school. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate that you guys, in a sense, were able to join me on this odyssey. Yes. Thank you for joining me on this odyssey to really go into our various histories and things like that. Thank you for coming out, Teresa Miller, Nade, Brave Cold World, Black Scraps the Gamer, Brave Cold Water. Thank all you guys, and Jesse. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that you learned something today. If you want to find out more about this history, more about Black people history in general, go to Amazon.com, or just say books written by Clyde Winters. Buy my books, learn the true history. It's very important in the sense that we learn the true history, and we had to support the true history of Black and African people, because our true history It's very fascinating. Our true history, in a sense, allows us to know and understand what's really going on. Because, see, if you're not going to do the research, support the ones who do. Buy my books, please. Support me.
If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. Vampires, they prey on your fears and they stay away. Vampires, they prey on your fears, control your atmosphere. Don't let them take your energy. Don't let them take control your atmosphere. I am you and control your atmosphere. Don't let them take your energy. Don't let them suck your energy. It's a distraction away from me. I am you and you are me. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. Don't follow nobody but yourself. Don't follow, I said nobody but yourself. Don't follow nobody but yourself. Don't follow yourself. Nobody, yourself. Nobody but yourself.
Atlantis in Mexico. Atlantis in Mexico. Atlantis in Mexico. Atlantis in Mexico. Time travel in a book. Go far in a book. When is the last time you spent bread on a book? Knowledge given in a book. Benefit from a book. Create a movie from a book. Create animation from a book. Atlantis in Mexico. Atlantis in Mexico. Mexico. Write history, gems, essays. Write history, gems, essays. Write history, gems, essays. Write history, gems, essays. Let's time travel in a book. Go far in a book. When is the last time you read a real book? Knowledge given in a book. Benefit from a book. Create a movie from a book. Just don't forget to give thanks to the author. Put time into the book. Thanks. Write history, gems, essays. Write history, gems, essays. Write history, gems, essays. Write history, gems, essays.
Parents looking for a story that would not only captivate your little one's imagination, but would also teach valuable lessons. The Bloom, bedtime story for the young at heart, takes your child on a magical journey to ancient Kemet, where the goddess Sister Andito brings life, love, and healing. Through this enchanting tale, your child will learn the importance of nature, uncovering the rich history of Kemet. It's a story that inspires self-mastery and love for the world around them, making it the perfect bedtime read for little dreamers. Available on Amazon now. The Bloom not only nurtures young minds, but also supports the FBA community. Grab your copy right now and give your child the gift of adventure of learning. Order The Bloom today on Amazon. Thank you. Hotel.
Supplemental learning for your mini. But you can learn too. Don't send your mini into the belly of the beast unarmed. Courses, practical math, language, the code, our story, and more. An institution founded by us, dedicated to us and our fight for justice. Here you will learn ways to combat the system using the same information they are trying to keep away from you. Welcome to FBA Sunday School.
What's up, everybody? It's Eve. Follow me on Twitter and YouTube for space recordings and special live programs. 2024, we're doing things a little different if you haven't peeped game by now. So yeah, this is your chance. You can do it now if you want. Hit the bell here on YouTube at JustEveB, or find me on X at Justice4Just Us. That's JUSTICE. The number 4, JUST_US. And if you feel so inclined, support my channel and the work we do over here. The Cash App and Patreon links are in the description. Black first.
Free your mind, let it go, to the top, drop it to the floor, energy, coming like whoa, spring water, how did that go, free your mind, let it go, tap in, go, let it nigga know, hey, let it nigga know, let it nigga know, energy, coming like whoa, spring water, how did that grow, free your mind, let it go, to the top, drop it to the floor, energy, coming like whoa, tap in, go, let it nigga know, hey, she told me go and put it in her heart. I told her I don't wanna break it all apart. Let me be a night light in the dark. Hey, my nigga shine bright with the art. Gemini 2 time, know it's hard. Got the stars on the line with the charts. Big dog, so I gotta leave a mark. Free your mind, cause I'm all that smart. Hey, energy, got me like water. Spring water, how did that grow? Free your mind, let it go. To the top, drop it to the floor. Hey, energy, got me like water. Spring water, how did that go? Free your mind, let it go. Tap in, go, let it nigga know, hey, let it nigga know.
The only thing that can save you is be one, be one, be one. To fight Cage, you must stay black first.